What's going on, everybody? Thank God it's Friday, right? TGIF. Just a little more talking about drinking and alcoholism specifically. I wanted to go over something a little bit more thought-provoking, hopefully, today. So we're going to hit on the brain directly. I know my last video I talked a little bit about how it attacks the body and alluded to how it attacks the brain, exactly what it does to it. This is kind of the how behind that. So there are something called neurotransmitters in your body, which is basically the chemical messaging capacity of your body. They carry messages from one nerve across another or across a space to the next nerve, muscle, or gland. These messages help you move your limbs, feel sensations, keep your heart beating, etc. All the information your body needs to receive is done by way of these transmitters. Here is a bit of a physical representation of what I was just talking about. So this just shows the very, very extremely zoomed in portion of how these neurotransmitters operate. You know, they have a receptor, they have, obviously, if there's something that's receiving, they have the transmitter, which is pushing it across the bridge, as you see there, etc. Alcohol and neurotransmitter interactions. Obviously, this is from somebody far more educated than me, formally, anyways. And they state that evidence suggests alcohol affects brain function by interacting with multiple neurotransmitter systems, thereby disrupting the delicate balance between inhibitory and excitatory neurotransmitters. And we'll get into that a little bit more later, but that's when you're talking about your dopamine, your serotonin, the pleasure center of your brain. And here's another quick physical representation of how alcohol inhibits or excites your brain. As you can see here, it shows, under normal conditions, a balance exists between excitatory and inhibitory transmission in the brain. So it's a balancing act that your body's able to keep in check fairly easily, on a good day, so to say. Here you can see where it's transitioned from regular to short-term alcohol exposure. So your night out with the girls, your UFC pay-per-view, whatever, whenever a bunch of dudes are over and you guys have a case of beer to go through. Uh, this shows how short-term alcohol exposure tilts the balance towards inhibition by enhancing the function of inhibitory neurotransmitters and the neuromodulators. So that balancing act has now been disrupted a bit. But after long-term alcohol exposure, the brain tries to restore that equilibrium by compensating for the depressant effects of alcohol. So the brain decreases inhibitory neurotransmission and enhances excitatory neurotransmission to right itself. Because the body really is amazing, and anything we try to do to it that has a negative effect, it tries to correct us. But as we can see once again, during alcohol withdrawal, these compensatory changes are no longer opposed by the presence of alcohol, and the balance shifts towards a state of excessive excitation. Hyperexcitation is characterized by seizures, delirium, and anxiety. So withdrawals aren't always a good thing, depending upon how much you tipped the balance in the opposite direction before it tried to correct itself, before it gets out of control. And what body functions do nerves and neurotransmitters help control? Well, I mean, in summary, basically everything. Uh, your nervous system controls such functions as heartbeat, blood pressure, breathing, muscle movement, thought, memory, learning, feeling, sleeping, healing, aging, stress, hormone regulation, digestion, sense of hunger or thirst, senses, responses to what you see, hear, feel, touch, and taste. So it almost controls everything. It really does. So in short, yet again, even though I'm happy that it's Friday, and I'm sure so are the drinkers out there, but I'm happy it's Friday because God's blessed me with yet another day on the planet to be with my kids. And your get hammered alcoholic is just looking forward to getting that next fix. So it's something that we need to fix as us, as individuals, and as a society. Uh, Alcoholism is a disease. It doesn't just affect the person that has it, it affects everybody that knows them. And it doesn't affect any of them in a good way. Stay blessed. Until next time.